I had heard a lot about this one ex, and I like Facebook stalked Bridget, obviously, and like I like had this idea, and then throughout our relationship I would like ask you questions about her, and like so I formed this whole idea of this person, and I was like just had a lot of love for her in my heart and felt really just grateful for your relationship and all this stuff. And
which was so weird for me because I felt Brittany's like inquiry and desire, and I think like I hadn't experienced that to that level in other relationships, more like, oh, I don't want you like talking to her, or you know, like maintaining connection, or that's weird.
Hi beautiful beings, my name is Brittany.
And I'm Bridget.
And we're doing part two,
dealing with
exes
and baggage in past relationships.
Dealing with exes and past baggage in a new relationship. We did that video that went out prior to this, and we got so jazzed about.
Kind of went off in a different direction.
Well, it was the direction.
It was the direction
of like bringing what to do when you're bringing an old pattern from a past relationship into a new relationship, and how to sort of cut that cord and live healthfully. And then, but we realized
we didn't talk about exes.
No, and we kind of want to talk about exes and relationships with exes when you're in any relationship. Yeah, I think we have really fun relationships with our exes, which is why I want to talk about it. And maybe we could talk about our experiences now and then experiences in the past with other partners and exes, and
yes,
and just kind of get like see how they both felt.
Yeah. Great.
Well,
tell us about your exes.
Well, many of you, if you've been following me on YouTube for a decade plus, know that Connor is, I guess he's my ex, which is funny. I don't really think of him that way. I think of him
transformed.
Yeah, I think because I feel closer with him now. I love him.
Right relationship.
He's my bestie. He's our family member. He's my baby daddy. He's my partner in a different way. Like, we're partners in life. Like, we share a family and friendship. So anyways, but yes, and he's an ex. He's not my romantic partner anymore. And I love him.
They have a great relationship.
We're so close, and we're so
cool.
Sweet. We message throughout the day.
To watch it just shift over the years. And like all of our like my relationship with your ex, because he wasn't your ex when we first started a relationship. So it's cool.
It is cool. We all have like family thread where we share pictures of who's with Ilya and what's going on, and we do family holidays together, and and he's my best friend. I love him, and so that's really nice. And and in general, I think exes are really welcomed into our life here, and I don't.
Yeah, we've had your ex stay with us.
Oh yeah, my ex-husband stayed with us. Yeah,
which was super cool. He's super cool.
Yeah, that was really fun. I think I think of relationships on a continuum. It doesn't feel like, they were my person and now they're not. It's like the spectrum of kind of, like you said, right relationship, and how relationships transform over time.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting how maybe a lot of the world, or some parts of the world, right, we have this very intimate connection with the being for a long time, and then there's all of a sudden like we're not supposed to have them in our lives for a while, or we don't, or we need time, or whatever the case is. But I love the relationship that I feel like you had with your exes, and getting to witness you there, because I feel like you guys have maintained like such epic friendship, and that feels really beautiful. Yeah,
I love that so much, and it feels so nice that you get that, and that we get that about each other.
There's not like jealousy or like weird vibes about that.
Yeah, and Bridget, when I met Bridget, I had heard a lot about this one ex, and I like Facebook stalked Bridget, obviously, and like I like had this idea, and then throughout our relationship I would like ask you questions about her, and like so I formed this whole idea of this person, and I was like just had a lot of love for her in my heart, and felt really just grateful for your relationship and all this stuff. And
which was so weird for me because I felt Brittany's like inquiry and desire, and I think like I hadn't experienced that to that level in other relationships, more like, oh, I don't want you like talking to her, or you know, like maintaining connection, or that's weird, or so there was a lot of that where like I didn't necessarily feel that was how I felt about it, and so it was really beautiful getting to just feel your excitement and love, and to get to like reflect on my relationship authentically. Not feel like I had to like hide parts of it, or and to just really get to like share that with you, because at that time me and this being were not in connection. Like we were not talking. We had a hard separation, and it had been when you and I got together, it had been like 2 or 3 years since we had ended our relationship, and we hadn't spoken that entire time. And it was just cool to get to feel your desire, and to get to like reflect on that relationship, and it felt very healing for me.
Yeah, I love that. That's so fun. And it was a turn on for me too. Like sometimes, I mean, it was fun, it was healing, it was loving, it was all these things, and there was a piece that was a turn on. Like I loved asking Bridget like questions about their sexual space together, and like I would fantasize about them together sometimes, and that was really fun. And then fast forward to how many years ago now would you say that you guys started talking
Maybe
again?
2. It was like 2-ish.
Maybe 2.5 or 3.
I don't think, I think it's around 2.
2. Okay, so 2 years ago you guys started talking again. And what was that like for you?
I can't even remember how it happened.
Well, you had definitely reached out at some point.
I think she reached out to me.
Yeah, I think so.
And just like, wanted to connect. I think we like texted a bit, and then we had a chat on the phone, and she had a baby that's like the same age as Ilya, and was married, and so it was like really beautiful to get to reconnect, and just to there was so much. I mean, so that was like the beginning of our connection a couple years ago, and she's like now one of our good friends. Like we have such an intimate relationship with her, and I think it's been really healing for all of us. Not to speak for her, but I think it's been like a really beautiful dynamic to just get to all. I feel like you guys have like,
I know, we're really close.
Closer in a certain. You guys communicate a lot, I feel like, and that's really cool. I feel like, and because you guys are very similar.
We are similar, which makes sense. Yeah, and I think that's been cool. Like we all shared a chat in the beginning, and we still have that chat, and like you guys obviously have your connection, and she and I have our connection now, and it's been going on for a couple of years, so we've all gotten to just like develop as friends now. But there's this extra added piece. Like I feel closer to her because she's somebody you've been so connected with. Like she's not just an ex, she's somebody you've had like a 15-year relationship with, in a way, you know? And I've heard so many stories, and she's played such a significant part in your life, and she knows you well, and you know her well, and it's just really special.
And it's been cool because like I feel so seen by her too, like in our, you know, she knows me so intimately, and then getting to like build a relationship with you, and to just like receive so much like a love and admiration from her, with like how much I've grown, and like where we are in our relationship, and it's just like a beautiful dynamic. So it's been really healing. And we shared intimate space.
They slept together, and it's so hot. I mean, I like to fantasize about it. Like I imagine it was really hot.
Yes.
Which is so cool.
It's so cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and it was really because like,
oh, my phone. Continue.
Because our, relationship ended in kind of a quick, sudden, traumatic way. It was really beautiful to get to have this sexual experience together, and it was like very, kind of like closure, but there was like closure in a way. It was like sweet to get to like have the relationship we have now, and to connect, and it just felt really special. Very unique experience. Yeah.
I love that.
And to feel so supported. By you in that. And
I felt so celebratory. I loved celebrating you guys in that, and I felt like it was really easy to ask you both for what I was wanting around that experience, so that I could feel like safe in it and included in my own way, and also just like really give you guys tons of space to like have your own experience. Yeah, and I was just thinking, like, it's so normal. It seems to me so normal that we would have intimate relationships with exes, whether that be sexual or just closer in some way, because we have gone so deep with them. And that's been my experience, is like, to imagine a partner sharing like a sexual space with an ex feels so easy in a way, because it's like, well, how familiar, you know, and you've already shared that space and you feel comfortable together, and
there's already like this like love that exists there.
Yeah, I really love that. But that wasn't my experience growing up at all.
Right.
It was like, you know, almost, I think there can be so much fear in new partnerships around, I can come up around attachment and just really wanting to like preserve a really beautiful thing, but it can kind of turn into this fear-based thing that pushes other people away and other people we've been close with. And I think that's a pattern that I was modeled growing up in high school. You know, it's like normal to think like, oh, if someone's an ex with someone else,
and
like
it's like off limits.
Yeah, you like maybe don't even talk to them. You're like, don't look at them. Yeah.
I love the relationships that we have with our exes, and just like the support and the celebration and how healing I think that is for us, for everyone involved.
Yeah, totally.
Really beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. Thanks for sharing. I'd be so curious if there's any like highlights of relationships with exes that you'd like to share, or maybe a relationship you'd like to cultivate with an ex, posting that. You can even post anonymously if you want to, but to kind of like put that desire out into the world. Yeah. Thanks for being here.